Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Teaching and Learning Community Information Session. I am Stephanie, or Steph as I often go by, Foote from the Gardner Institute, and I'm the Vice President for Teaching, Learning, and Evidence-Based Practices. And I am excited to talk with you all about the teaching and learning community, and specifically to talk about our fall course that we'll be offering very soon, but I'll talk about the teaching and learning community overall.
No, you're good.
So for those who are not familiar with the work of the Gardner Institute, we're a 26-year-old nonprofit organization located geographically in Western North Carolina. And we work with institutions of higher education, lots of different institutions, colleges, universities, to increase student success rates. So to get more students past the finish line to earn an academic credential. And a lot of the work that we do, well, all the work that we do is evidence-based, but a lot of the work that we do involves faculty. And the teaching and learning community is one way that we support faculty professional learning and development with the hope that it will be helpful, thinking through the things that you might be able to do in your courses to increase student success. Since we're a small group, I'm going to invite you all, if you are willing, to put your name and institution in the chat. If you can see the chat, or if you would prefer to unmute and introduce yourself very quickly, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, welcome, Jen. Thank you. Jen is from the University of Southern Indiana. Hello. Give others a moment to introduce themselves. And Bob is from Thomas More. Nice to see you, Bob. And Christine is from East Georgia State, soon to be consolidated with Georgia Southern. I don't know if I knew that, but that's an exciting development, isn't it? I went through consolidation myself when I was at Kennesaw State University as a faculty member. All right, and I know Susan is here. Susan might be doing some other things or unable to enter an introduction, but we welcome you, Susan. Feel free to enter your introduction in the chat as you have time. I have this heart on the screen because I want to express my gratitude to all of you because I know that this is a super busy time of the year. So thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate the time and attention. And I want to jump right in and talk a bit about the teaching and learning community overall, and then we'll talk specifically about our fall offering, our course on Gateway Course Design. It took a few minutes to get all of these names, the images, and the titles on the screen, but this is our amazing team that works with me in the teaching and learning community. We have a wide variety of folks. Some are faculty members, some are faculty developers, and then we have a wonderful graduate student who is right now applying to full-time tenure track positions as well. So we have a wide variety of folks who work with me in the teaching and learning community. And welcome to Sue. Sue is joining us. She's put her welcome in the introduction in the chat. So we have a really wonderful group that works with me. The teaching and learning community has been around for 10 years at the Gardner Institute. We started this initially with a group of faculty involved in our Gateway course redesign process, which we called G2C at the time. And we used to hold these launch meetings, these launch workshops. And you can see some images from the launch workshops on the screen if you're able to see the screen. So they were big meetings with faculty sitting around tables and these big ballrooms. So the idea was to introduce some different course pedagogies. And at the time, we were focused a lot on active learning as well as assessment. And this was by the request of faculty. So over time, we've really evolved and we have a lot more offerings. So currently, we offer many different points of entry. One of them is this fall and our fall course. We have two courses that we offer during the academic year, one in the fall and one in the spring. The one in the fall is focused on Gateway Course Design or Redesign. The one in the spring is called Teaching for Impact. And this is a course that's available to folks who are interested in quick pedagogy practice changes that they might be able to incorporate immediately into their course or courses. The Gateway course that we teach in the fall is focused on looking at opportunities that you might have to engage in course design or redesign and thinking through intentional approaches. So the spring course has a topic and the fall course is focused on this idea of course redesign, particularly Gateway course redesign. We also have a signature course. Last summer it's called The Humanity of Teaching. Last summer it was focused on well-being. We haven't yet landed on our topic for next summer. And then we also have a community of practice that anyone who takes any of our courses can be involved in. And the community of practice meets about every 4 to 5 weeks. And those meetings are about an hour in length. And it's a good check-in, but there's also some content that we deliver as well based on participant interests. So the fall course is the one I want to focus on. But just so you all know, there are a lot of options if you were unable to join us for the fall, maybe wanted to think about the spring or the summer as another opportunity. The courses are delivered online synchronously. There's also asynchronous content, and we record the synchronous meetings so they're available to you on demand immediately, but also throughout the academic year. So you can access that information as you have time. We also use this course redesign framework. This is something that I came up with several years ago. I did a deep dive and looked at the work that had been done in course redesign at the Gardner Institute from 2013 to about 2020. And then I also consulted the literature and identified, this is not exhaustive, but identified some different categories and interventions, and then created some definitions of those interventions. This is to both inspire faculty who do the work with us. So as you come into the course on Gateway Course Design, this is an inspiration potentially to think about the things that you could do in your courses in terms of redesign. But it's also a way to talk about the redesign that you might do eventually. So if you're going up for promotion and tenure, if you're writing your annual review, this gives you some of the language to be able to talk about the work that you've done, which faculty have found to be very helpful. So now I want to talk for a few minutes about the ways in which we support faculty in our courses and our community practice as they're redesigning their courses. So this is more detail about our fall course that we have on Gateway Course Design. And the dates are next Monday, so that's coming up very quickly. So November 10th through December 1st, and these are the dates and times for the synchronous meetings. And again, we'll be recording these, so if you're unable to join us synchronously, you can watch them on demand in our learning management system, Brightspace. But the idea with this course, again, is to focus on designing or redesigning. So you'll be introduced to some frameworks that you can use and also some approaches that you might be able to use in your redesign process. And the idea is that you would identify something that you would put into practice immediately, like the next time you teach the course, that you would be able to evaluate and develop a plan for continuous improvement. So the audience, this is one of our foundational courses. So the audience is any full-time, part-time faculty member or graduate teaching assistant, professional staff members or administrators, instructional support staff. Anyone who cares about teaching and learning is welcome in this course and will not feel that it's too far advanced for them. The way that I approach the course is I adjust it and make sure that I program the content based on the goals that you all articulate in the first session. So I have the first couple of sessions sort of mapped out. I have some plans for the remaining sessions and the asynchronous content, but a lot of it will go in the direction that you all wanted to go in. So if you all have more advanced thinking around different pedagogical practices and want to sort of challenge yourself about new and different things, or if you want to think about changes you might make to your course structure, if you're interested in thinking about co-requisite redesign, these are all things that we can tackle in this course and get a good start on them over a period of 4 weeks. Again, the modality is online and it's synchronous with some asynchronous content, and portions of the meetings are recorded and again available to you all for the duration of the course and during the academic year. So that way you'd have a chance to go back to the content, both synchronous and asynchronous, to refresh if you want to. You'll also have access to a planning document and some other resources that will help you in your own thinking about your course design or redesign. So let me pause here to see if there are specific questions about this course, what we're focusing on, and then what you might get in terms of the deliverable. Do you all have any questions about this? Nope.
That's definitely, this is
Yeah. Hey,
Bob.
Bob.
So I'll reveal myself. The so I'm kind of eavesdropping here. I'm not a faculty member. I work with faculty development here at Thomas.
Yes, I know. You're
Yeah.
welcome here anytime.
Sorry, I keep insinuating myself into your orientations. What's the end product that you expect from the participating faculty?
Yeah, the idea is at the end they would have the deliverable would be a plan, an initial plan for course design slash redesign with some sense of continuous improvement. So they'll be thinking through what they might do initially and then how are they going to continue to refine that moving forward. So they would leave with an initial plan that they could put into place.
And do you have, is it, is part of the programming, the faculty participating share their work toward the end of the session?
Yeah, in this class, there is space for that, but because it's a little bit faster pace, uh, it's not always possible to share your work because you may not be in a place where you could share it at that point. So there's also the opportunity for some continuation beyond this. We'll have community hours during the course, but then I'll also be available after the course ends. So for faculty who haven't quite finished and don't feel ready to share, they can share with me and get feedback or share with the fellows and get feedback. So there's an opportunity to do some of that, even if you're not quite ready to do that at the end of 4 weeks. A lot of people are, but sometimes people are not quite ready just yet. So there's an opportunity to share, but there's also an opportunity to share later on if they need to.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I'm glad you're here. It's always
Thanks.
good to see you. So now I want to share a little bit about in our teaching and learning community, the things that we've learned about what faculty have done. And I think that this is helpful as you're thinking both from your own perspective, Bob, as you're thinking about how to support your faculty colleagues who might be going through this work. When you receive a copy of the slides today, you'll have hyperlinks. There are hyperlinks to all of the pieces that I'm going to refer to over the next couple of slides. So you can take a look at them more specifically as you get those slides. This is a blog post that my colleague Brent Drake and I wrote last year in 2024, and it documents some of the outcomes associated with the Gateway course redesign in 3 different areas, math, history, and English. And this, to me, is a really concise piece and also very powerful, just to think about the impact that, and I describe in here some of the changes that were made, that relatively modest changes in course design can have on student outcomes. So for example, implementing something like TILT, transparency in learning and teaching, can have, some pretty significant outcomes. This is not set up to be a scientific study necessarily, but there are, a lot of institutional data that we have that we can refer to, and some of them are included in this piece as well. So it's, again, a concise piece that describes some of the methods that faculty have used and some of the initial outcomes associated with their redesign work. Also, 2 pieces that you might be interested in, these 2 volumes in our case study anthology series. We have another volume that will be coming out in spring, but these 2 document a variety of cases from across the disciplines. So we have many different disciplines represented. Christine, we have lots of institutions in the state of Georgia because we worked with a lot of the University System of Georgia institutions that are represented in the first volume in particular, but some are also in volume 2. But we have a wide variety of disciplines and courses represented in these case studies. They're a great source of inspiration. So in the course that I teach in the fall on Gateway Course Design, I also invite people to take a look at these because they're a great source of inspiration. And also if there's something that is of interest to you, if you see a case that really strikes you, then we can reach out to the authors to learn more about the work that they've done there. So there's a lot of really good stuff, but there's also an opportunity for some continued communication with those folks who have authored the case studies. They're all authored by faculty and staff at the institutions. And then I'll put these all up on the screen together. There are more, but these are 3 pieces that the fellows and I have authored over the last few years that focus on some of the outcomes associated with the work that we've done in the teaching and learning community. And these also could be a source of inspiration. So the first one has to do with re-engaging faculty. The second one is thriving, so faculty thriving in higher education. And the third is one of our peer-reviewed journal pieces that we've written that focuses specifically on the STEM courses that have been redesigned. But in it, you can learn more about, this is an open source publication, you can learn more about the specific strategies the faculty have used and some of the outcomes associated with that work. That's, again, specific to STEM, but there are a lot of really great transferable ideas for the other disciplines as well. And now I have just a little bit of information about the next steps. So if any of this sounds interesting to you and you're thinking that you might want to join us, we do have a few next steps here. So obviously, Bob at Thomas More, you all are part of our transformation process. So there is no charge for engagement in any of our courses related to the teaching and learning community. But for those who are not yet working in one of our Gardner Institute processes, the cost is $340 per individual per course. And then there is so group-based prices on the right-hand side of the screen that you all might consider if you're interested in having more engagement. So more people, more courses. So that gives you the institutional rate information if you're interested. There's a web page on our website for the teaching and learning community. We'll make sure that you all have it and you can use that to register if you're interested. It's a simple registration form that you'll complete. And if you are registering for the fall class, I'll be in touch with you very soon after that to give you information on how to access the meeting information and the space in Brightspace. And Bob, if any of your faculty ask, I sent out some information to them earlier today, faculty at Thomas More, so they should all have those details now.
Okay. Do you know how many, Stephanie, are participating?
Oh, yes, I sure do. Let me just pull that up. I have that right here on my list. We have 7 faculty members, and then I also have Father Ray and Kim as well.
Okay, great. Would it be kosher for me to be part of it as well?
Yes, absolutely. You're welcome to be a part of it. Would you like me to add you?
Would you please?
Yeah, happy to. I will do that. And Brittany put the link to the registration. Thank you, Brittany, in the chat. So if anyone's interested, you can go directly to that link to register. And Bob, you don't need to worry about doing that. I'll add you.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
You're very welcome. All right. Oh, I have one more slide with next steps. This slide just includes some of the other things that we do at the Gardner Institute. We have beyond, the teaching and learning community offerings, we have lots of other processes, academies, communities of practices, and services. This is just a list of some of them, not even all of them. I think there are about 33-ish in total, so there are quite a few different things that we do. If any of these look interesting, feel free to reach out to us. You'll have an email from us as a follow-up to this meeting, and Katie Locke, who is our Senior Director for Marketing, will reach out to you. Unfortunately, Katie is under the weather today, so she's unable to be with us, but Brittany is with us, and I know that she'll be happy to be in touch with you all as well. And now we just have time for any questions or comments. If anyone is interested, if you'd like to learn more about the teaching and learning community specifically, or if there's anything else that I might answer on behalf of the Gardner Institute, I'd be happy to do that. And if you would prefer not to record your questions, just let me know in the chat and we'll be happy to stop the recording. Yeah,
I have a
Jen.
quick question. So I've done some stuff with the Gardner Institute before. It's always been awesome and amazing.
Thank
But
you.
I've done a lot of their FYE stuff.
Yeah.
Would an FYE course be appropriate for this particular class? Because so it's
Yes.
kind of a gateway. It's not a gateway because I'm a
Yeah.
former English teacher. So those two courses are gateway courses in different ways.
Hmm.
And so I just wondered if before I try to get some funding to do this, or at least talk to the university, would a one credit first year experience course be appropriate to go through this process with you all?
Yeah, I would say it would be very appropriate to do
Okay.
that. So just a little bit of background. We have had other instructors who have come and other faculty who have come into this course with that focus. So focused on redesigning a first year experience or first year seminar course. So this is definitely appropriate for that. And that's also my background too.
Oh,
It's
excellent.
not the only thing I do, but for a long time, I taught first year seminars. I was a tenured faculty member in a department that taught first year seminars when I was at Kennesaw State. I also developed and taught in a master's program and worked on developing another graduate program as well while I was there. But that was what I did full time for quite a while, was to teach a first year seminar. That's also my background in terms of my dissertation research. So it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. We do a lot with the first year experience and with first year seminars at the Gardner Institute.
Right, the Gardner, it's been amazing to be able to go to some of those things. I went to
Yeah.
the Summer Institute, I think, last year, and
Oh,
actually my
great.
dissertation topic is on FYE as well. So,
Oh,
but before I
fantastic.
kind of tried to finagle some funds from the university, I thought I would
Yeah.
just make sure. So thank you, that's awesome.
You're welcome. I always get really excited when we have more folks coming to us with that focus because they are such an important course and a cornerstone in the first year. Any other questions or comments? Jen, you'll have to stay in touch regardless, so I can learn more about your dissertation.
Should it ever get
Yeah.
done? Yes.
Yeah. I know it will. It will.
Everybody keeps saying that. I'm hopeful, but not enthusiastic. So I got to get to the enthusiastic part.
Yeah. I do understand. It can feel like a bit of a slog sometimes.
Yes, very much so.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions, we'll stop the recording. I'll be happy to hang out for a few more minutes. So if you want to ask anything personally, I'll be here for you. Otherwise, you can look forward to an email follow-up with us from us with a copy of the slides and some details about registration. Again, Bob, I'll get you added this afternoon, so you don't need to worry. But if any questions come up even after today that you'd like to ask, feel free to just respond to the email, and Brittany and Katie will make sure that I get a copy of that. Thank you all. And Brittany, I think you can stop the recording and